Before we jump into today's episode, I want to take a moment to thank our podcast sponsor, CPR Hair. As many of you know, we are incredibly intentional about who we align ourselves with at the Conscious Salon. We don't just look at products, we look at values, leadership, and the impact that a company has in our industry. What stands out the most for us is their salon first philosophy. Their focus isn't on just creating great products, it's empowering salon owners, supporting long-term growth, and helping our industry thrive. They offer education programs, events and professional development, and everything they do is designed to support the success of everyone in your salon. CPR is family owned and family run for Australian hair by Australian people. Thank you to CPR Hair for making this episode of the Conscious Salon podcast possible. This episode of the Conscious Salon podcast is brought to you by CPR Hair.
Welcome back to the Conscious Salon podcast. Tess, we are interstate today.
New location,
and we have a very special guest here with us. So today we are joined by someone who has spent decades in our industry, but what makes her story incredible is not just the years that she's put in, but it's the evolution that she's had. You are someone that I have watched very closely for a long time, and I've been so inspired by your leadership journey. She started as a hairdresser in Western Sydney and, like so many women in the industry, didn't necessarily set out to become a leader. She's the founder of Salon Kin, Salon Mumu, and Salon Mumu, two of the most prestigious salons in New South Wales. She's the two-time AHFA New South Wales Hairdresser of the Year, 2014 and 2017. Fuck yeah.
So cool.
And she also nabbed the Hair Expo Salon Design Award and had a stint on the Australian Fame team. Somehow, between all of this, she's also raising her two children, building salons, becoming an AI expert, growing teams, winning major industry awards, and backing herself again and again. She knows what it is firsthand to build an incredible business and salon culture from the ground up and to take vision and really turn it into something huge in our industry. To grow a team really quickly and to hold a huge amount of responsibility and keep showing up through the stretch that leadership demands. She's built beautiful spaces, led high-performing teams, and created businesses that have earned both industry respect and huge success transforming people's lives through hair. Please welcome to the podcast, Maria Unali.
Standing ovation. How does that feel?
That feels very special.
That is freaking,
when someone reads it out like that, I'm like, I said I wasn't going to cry. I got a tear in my eye.
We're sitting here choked up. It's pretty fucking phenomenal, isn't it, to hear that back?
Thank you, guys.
That's
really nice. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's your achievements. And I think it is something as women that we do, or we don't really actually have that moment of like, fuck, I have done quite a bit and I've actually achieved a lot. And hearing that, it's a huge amount of achievement.
Yeah, well, we just sort of get on with it, don't we? We're just like always
What's
looking
next?
forward. Yeah, always looking forward. And, you know, like we've also got so many people relying on us. So we don't have time to sort of sit back and absorb or just take it all in or, I think, but thank you so much.
It's pretty incredible,
really
isn't
nice.
it, what you've done in your career. And I think for our industry, like what you've done for your team members and your clients and your community within all of the salons that you've grown and turned into these amazing, like, what do you call them? Almost like these, what's the word? Like
cults.
Cults. But you turn them into these huge spaces that
they're like
so
little
much
worlds
bigger.
of their own.
Yeah,
it's not
these worlds.
It's
exactly.
almost they become like these little embodiments of their own branding and community.
Yeah.
It's pretty fucking.
And I think that while you've been so incredible and expanding in that way within your community in the salon, from an outsider within our industry, you've been such a source of inspiration for so many people along the way in an industry to rewrite the way that we do leadership, to rewrite the way that we run a salon, and even seeing the way that you're moving into having AI support you in business has been really, really cool as well, which we're so excited to have you here.
Thank you.
So Maria, I want to go back to the start, and I would love you to tell your story about how you got into the industry and how you actually build these empires.
So I didn't want to do hairdressing. And my mum was pushing me into it because my dad had the salon. So my dad, he opened a salon in 1981. he immigrated from Italy and when he was 16. So it was huge for him to have built that. And I was helping him out, you know, I was just like doing a little tea and tidy thing. And then I actually got the marks when I finished year 12. I actually got the marks to go to uni, and I was just like, you know what? I was sort of like up in the air about things, but I was also having this moment where I was like following friends as well. I don't think I had a really strong sense of self back then. And I was sort of trying all the things. I would be that kid that sort of jumped from like friends group to friends group. It's changed a lot now, but it's been a journey. But at that time, I sort of, you know, one of my friends, she got into uni, she did ACU, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to go to ACU as well. Did a Bachelor of Arts and did like philosophy, English literature, and yeah, and like economics and Italian, Japanese. Like I just sort of dipped my toe in all the things.
Add that
everything.
in. I'm not sure, so I'm going to do it all.
Yes, exactly.
So sorry we didn't put that in the intro.
Oh no! I just like I did 1 year, and I was just like, I should have known then that I was like definitely ADHD traits. Like I was like, I don't like this at all. Like I'm like stopping, starting. Anyway, I was just like, stop this. Yeah. And then my mum was happy. I decided to start hairdressing. And we fast tracked my apprenticeship. And by that time, my dad was sort of like in the middle of renovating the salon and sort of rebranding. He was like, well, do you want it? And I was like, yeah, okay. So like I took over the salon.
What was it called?
It was called S81 Hair. And it was like this idea like since 1981.
Wait, yeah, I was going to say, because you said he built it in 1981. Okay. So then how you did your apprenticeship fast tracking, how fast did you do it?
Look, I mean, back then it was a 4-year apprenticeship.
Yes.
So I did it in 3 years.
Yeah.
Which is normal now. But
maybe
like
they
back
built
then,
the model off you, did they? Like, all right, Maria did it this quick, so we're all going to meet that.
Yeah, just because like I was like, I just want to get this done, you know? Like it was this thing, I just wanted to hurry up. And I said to my dad, if I'm going to do this, I want to do it really well. Creatively, I was really like just honed in on like I wanted to do fashion weeks and editorial, and I just wanted to like go gung-ho on everything. Because I wanted to experience it. I'd been exposed to it. Like I'd been going to hair expos since I was like 6 or 7, you know, like,
wild.
Yeah. So I'd seen that whole world and it's not that I didn't fall in love with it. It's just that I thought I was just going to do something different. We always want to do something different from our parents.
Absolutely,
you know, like we just want to go like the opposite way, especially like 14, 15.
I am actually the full embodiment of that. Our parents are teachers and I dropped out in year 10. So I was like, I'm literally going to do so far opposite that I'm going to leave school.
Yeah,
so,
and that's what happens. Like you just go, and you just want to go like left, so far left.
Yeah.
And so I went to uni and I was like the first, like, I think, you know, first person in my family to sort of do that, you know.
That's,
and then I was like, nope, not for me.
You're like, nah.
Spent 5 minutes at uni and then what happened?
Yeah, and then I obviously went through my apprenticeship and then...
You did that under your dad?
Yeah.
How was that?
Yeah, it was good.
Good.
You know, I think...
Good.
Yeah. I think it was good. It was also better that way because like I felt like I had more to prove. People were just like, you know, oh, she's the boss's daughter, you know, like, and I couldn't be lazy. I had to, you know, like I had to just pick up and like, you know, basically prove myself.
You had to prove yourself,
to the rest of the team and just go like, I'm just as much able to be here as everyone else.
Absolutely, yeah.
Was it a big team like at Salon?
Yeah, it was probably like there was probably about 6 or 7 seniors, you know, in like a space of like maybe 10 chairs, you know.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's,
and it was pumping back then, you know, like it was, and I'm not embarrassed to say, like, it was probably like, you know, a little bit of a chop shop. Like it was very quick. Like I learned on my book was like half an hour haircuts, you know, like it was, and that's how I learned. My dad was just, my dad's a barber by trade. So, you know, he would just like, I remember the first time I had to be on the floor, he was just like, okay, there you go. There's a haircut waiting for you. And I'd picked up scissors. I'd gone to tape, but like it wasn't like I knew how to cut hair. I just watched him for a long time. Yeah. And there was some bad haircuts. But we're also charging like
reviews and like back before it was like a now it's
and you know like I just learned on clippers. It was like clipper work.
Yeah.
And, you know, we're also charging like $16.50. You know, it was like post
The 50
post
cents.
GST, you know, like it was like $15 plus the $1.50. It was like, you know, so
They're all like, this is unbelievable.
yeah, and I think
Wow.
that's how I sort of started to understand maybe it's just best sometimes just to throw people in.
Yeah.
And I didn't know it then, but like it served me very well. I
Yeah.
learned really quickly, like, and I didn't have time to just go, oh, I don't want to do that, or it was just like you have to do it or else, you know. So like fashion weeks were really fun for me. I was just like I loved quick. And then and I just got stuck into that. And so like hair expos were just really fun for me. Like
Yeah.
and then and then he obviously the renovation happened, so he's just like, do you want to take over? And at the time I got married and I, you know, both me and my husband took it over. And we're just like, yeah, let's do it. But I wanted to do the big thing. I wanted to go to London. I wanted to do hair there. Like I just, you know, but life got in the way, you know?
So did you change the name straight away when you took over? Did you change things? What did you do?
So it was originally St. Clair Hairstylist, and then it went to S81 Hair when I took over.
Yeah.
And then when we moved to Penrith, which was about 15 minutes further west, I changed it to Salon Kin, and I wanted to rebrand. It was just like, it was a new like space for me. It was a new feeling. And we're moving to a new area. It was a huge space. We went from like maybe 110 squares to 200.
Wow.
And and just building it was just like so fun. I just loved it so much. But I had so many people helping me along the way, so that meant a lot. And I had a really strong core team, you know, like I had people who'd been with me for such a long time, and they really built it with me, and they built the culture. I never really felt like I needed like a handbook. Everyone sort of understood what they needed to do and how they needed to act and how we treat people, how we moved in the salon. So that was a big lesson for me, because I was just like, you just need to hire people that are aligned to you. Not that everything will sort itself out, but it will definitely, you're not like going against the grain.
Yeah,
you know,
it's one less thing. Yeah, exactly. I it's a big thing that we really, I think, niched down a few years ago, because I feel that's the thing so often, that people will not be clear on alignment, whether it's clients, whether it's team, whether it's just even people that are surrounding them. And so often when you have that, like, get really clear on what is aligned or what alignment looks like for you, you start creating that, like, that's when you start creating your little hubs, your little communities, your little spaces where it does become like, you know how to like treat each other, how you like all the conflict and like struggle, I wouldn't say it goes completely, but it definitely steps right back.
Well, there's a mutual understanding,
Yeah.
you know, and I think that can be what's so special about a team, you know, like, you know, you can definitely have moments of friction and like, you know, feedback and all of that. But I think there's something special in people just understanding each other, and that everyone has a good intention, you know, going in, whether it is like, you know, giving that feedback or like, you know, high pressure, high tension in that environment. I think that core team really sort of set the standard moving forward, and I'm so grateful for them.
Wow.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
So Maria, talk us through how Kin grew, and then when you decided to open up other locations.
I didn't think I was ever going to open up other salons.
We didn't think you were going to be a hairdresser as well. So it's like a few surprises along the way.
Well, I thought if I was, I always said I would open up with someone else, you know, just because I needed that support. I had just had Andre, and he was about 2 when I opened up Kin. So, and then a year later, I fell pregnant with Clara. So I think I was just like, I know I can't, I'm realistic. I can't do it all, especially at the same time, you know. So yeah, I thought, oh, you know what, I'll just like, and I said it out loud to someone. That someone approached me, and we end up post-COVID in COVID really. I used some money from subsidies and rebates through COVID to open up a second location. And I think, you know, we definitely overcapitalized, and we made it this incredible space. And I think like, I don't know, over the years, like even though I love building spaces, I love building brands, I don't think that's why people come to you. I think it's a great marketing, like it fast forwards marketing, like it fast forwards people reaching you and seeing you and has this wow factor and people want to be a part of it and see it and go there. But what I've learned, especially even just like building Studio Mumu, is that it's very humble, it's very grounded. It's in this really old building and you know, I did what I could, you know, I repainted and I just put some, you know, cute furniture in there and it's got a beautiful balcony and it's not like my other spaces. But because it's grown so much and I've been able to build community, people come for you.
Yeah.
They come for the person behind the chair. They come for the energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. Just what came to mind for me when you were saying that was initially people may come for that vibe that they can see and that thing that gets them through the door of that bright, shiny object of this looks beautiful. But they stay because of that relationship that you build and the way that you make them feel more than anything in the chair. So
yeah,
that's incredible. So you now live an hour and a half away from Salon Kin, and how many do you have on team? Can we talk about? I want to talk about the philosophy at Salon Kin because I think it's just been so pivotal for our industry for people who, especially for you being a millennial hairdresser as well, we were definitely, you know, treated a certain way and had a certain expectation and standard in the industry 20 years ago that is so different to the leadership qualities that most salon owners or a lot of salon owners have today and the different culture standard that we set in our industry now. Can you talk through a little bit about Kin's philosophy and the way that you actually lead a team?
Yeah, like, I mean, it was definitely a journey. Like the way my dad led is different to obviously how I led and how I lead now. But I remember like it was probably a couple of years in from like being at Kin and I went to go see my physio for something and he was talking about this Simon Sinek book, Start With Why. And I just started getting so obsessed with like that space of like, you know, whether it was like personal development or whatever. And I started to really understand.
He's amazing.
He's so
like,
good.
You mentioned Leaders Eat Last, one of my favorite books.
Yes.
Ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
So
I
good.
just think, he's incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible.
So then he you know, did the Start With Why, Leaders Eat Last. And then I was just like so into this, like just different way of leading, this emotional, you know, this EQ, like just having that understanding. And I just wanted to start a conversation around that sort of leadership because I saw it work really well in my space. I've definitely had moments where I have lost my way, you know, and maybe to try something different because maybe I took things too personally and I just thought, and I think it was definitely around the time when I opened up that second salon and so much stress on me and not that that's a cop out at all. I take full accountability and, you know, it's the hard conversations I've had, but I think that there is this level of like, like I think around, you know, the way we lead our teams is so important in terms of performance.
It's so interesting just even hearing you, like, you know, the fact that this came in, it was used to your chiropractor where you got introduced
physio.
to and
So random.
Physio, sorry.
Yeah.
How, like, these are the moments I think that get skipped over so much where you can have this, like, fleeting moment that is like a nothing thing. You can mention something, you can hit with someone who wants to have different, do better, have that connection. And how much can then have that ripple, like that moment
the impact,
has changed
the trajectory of everything.
Which I think these are like those sliding door moments where it's like this one like minuscule moment that can change everything. How you then move not only as like a salon owner, how you move as a human being, how you move as a mother, how you move as a daughter, how you move as a friend, how it just has such a flow on and ripple effect.
I think it helps the ADHD traits of like that obsessive compulsive. Like I got so obsessed with like learning about it. Same thing when I become a mum. Like you could not give me any more parenting books. Like,
really?
and it wasn't like, I just didn't think it was that, I'm quite intuitive. Like I listen to my gut a lot, but it was just like this thing I want to be really good at. You know, like, and I don't know if that's just, maybe it's the middle child thing.
I think it's like I'm
there's
like,
so many
because
layers
I'm
to
the
this.
eldest and I have ADHD. I'm like, it's both. But I think with this, it is that. It's like that hyperfixation of like, I want to be
Yeah.
the best and I want to do and I want to have impact. And
Yes.
thank fuck you do. Like, honestly,
Yeah.
there are so many people that don't. So
Yeah.
this is where you can see, like, when I think about and listen to and like, you know, reading through, like when we were talking off air about like when we were reading through everything last night, I can hear that you're a person that wants to leave this industry, like even this world, better than how you found it.
Yeah, I think that's definitely something that like I think about, you know, and it's not like this ego like legacy thing. It's just like, even, you know, someone said to me, I had someone leave my business a really long time ago, and she went to go open up her own salon, but it was just like a, you know, one person chair, whatever she was, and she said to me, she goes, isn't that amazing that she left your business and she has the confidence and she's brave enough to open up her own and be that for herself.
Totally.
And it really made me think about it. I was just like, I need to reframe this. Like, this is it's just a different perspective that I hadn't seen before. And gosh, that hit so hard, because then every time now that someone leaves and they have the courage to leave, I think it takes courage to leave a business, you know?
I agree.
And I think I always think it's like, it's more for them than it is for me. And if I've done my bit, they have the courage to go out and they have to do well in, you know, the field, whatever they decide to work in. But like, I've given them, I've done my bit.
You've been
you
a
know?
part of that courage.
Yeah.
And it's
I
really
love that.
interesting because most millennial hairdressers didn't have that. We had no one modeling this. We didn't have someone to look at and go, this is the way with conscious leadership, or this is the way that we can support team members. Like, it just wasn't that way. We certainly weren't modeled it. And I think it's really cool to see people doing it now, and more people actually taking that on board. I'm curious to know, now that you live an hour and a half away from the salon, I want to know how it operates without you. We also live an hour and a half away from our salon, and we're not in our salon. But I'm always curious to know how you made that happen, and what the challenges are that you face day to day by being far from the salon.
Look, the challenges are, I miss my team. I love the buzz of a salon, like, love it so much. The things that work are, I have found really good people in the right roles. And I've just let them do what they need to do. Like, I don't micromanage. I'm always there to like assist and guide. I just know what I'm good at, which is like the vision and, you know, guidance, coaching, you know, and reminding them of that constantly. And the voice, you know, like, this is how we speak, this is how we move. And setting the standard as well, right? But with that, I've got an incredible coordinator, Briley. She has been with me 8 years, and I think that's what makes a huge difference as well. It's this idea of like someone being in your business for such a long time, knowing you and that's like a long game thing. That's not like a, you know, if someone's saying, oh, how do I get that? It's just like, it's really hard to get, but you just need to nurture people. You need to play the long game. You need to invest in your team. And you need to set a standard, you know, like, I heard something ages ago about expectation and standard. And if you replace expectation with standard, it feels a lot different. And so that's what we speak about now in the business. It's like, this is our standard. This is the benchmark. This is what we reach up to. And I've got also a team and education leader in Sarah. She actually she's a TAFE teacher. So I'm very, I know, I'm very lucky. So she guides all our apprentices, and she makes sure they're on track, and, you know, she helps them. So I've got a really strong senior team, and they guide the apprentices. So there's always someone for someone to look up to, that know exactly what they need to do and what the standard is, and the standard I keep as well. I mean, we hold regular meetings, you know, we do all the things. We have lots of conversations. We also get along, and I think that's what's really important too.
How often do you get to go into the salon?
I'm in there twice a week.
Twice a week. Yeah.
So I go in on a Wednesday. Salon trades from like Tuesday to Saturday. I go in on a Wednesday. Actually, I do clients from 12 to 8. And that's my only day that I do clients. And then I sleep at my mum's because it's closer. And then I do another day on Thursday, just like admin, check-ins, one-to-ones. I float around. I, sometimes can just refine work with apprentices and stuff. That's a fun day for me.
I was gonna say that sounds like that's like heartfelt day.
Yeah.
Let me ask, when you took over from your dad, and I imagine, like, not just with changing the name and the location and things like that, how did he respond to when you were shifting things and doing things differently?
I think he was ready.
Yeah, so he was like, yeah, cool. Whatever you want to do. Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah.
Perfect.
He actually, stepped away, and then he started to help my brothers. They just opened up a pizza shop around the corner from the salon. So, and then the pizza chef. So, like, it was just one of those things. My dad was just like, I'm just going to go over there and help them,
I'm just going to have a pizza around the corner.
Yeah. And he loved it, and I think he
good.
just wanted to keep busy. He still does. He still helps one of my brothers out, a lot. So yeah, it's cute. But yeah, I think he really missed it though. Like he missed the cutting, he missed the talking, like
connection.
Yeah.
It's a big part of what we do.
Yeah. He had people walking past all the time. Hey Vince. And he just loved it so much. So I think that's what he missed the most. But he was fine. He was like, yeah, whatever.
That's so cool. So he didn't like that thing of like with parenting sometimes, and like I think like I'm so conscious of like not trying to put this onto my littles, but
yeah.
That thing of like just do it this way, like just don't. So you never experienced that.
I think like the financial side, because I wasn't really strong in that. Like I think like running the business on the back end and the economics of it all. Like I think he definitely was just like, oh Maria, you're spending too much money.
You're like, Dad, go away.
And he would come with me to a couple of accountant meetings and stuff like that. Like I think that's where his strength lied. And I think that's where I listened to him. But when it came to like branding or like customer experience and stuff like that, I mean, he had that like foundation, right? Like he had that, his, the way he treated his clients, the connection he built, the loyalty, all of that. He had all of that. But it was quite unconscious. It was just very like, this is the way we do things. It wasn't like
Yeah. That's amazing. I love that. I think that's a really interesting story, but also handover, because I feel like that side of it, it's not really that thing of like, do you want this? Here you go, blah blah blah, and then like I'm gonna step back.
You know what? My dad was always like that.
Yeah,
like he was just like,
I love him. I'm like, let's go see Vince from S81 at the pizza shop now.
Yeah, no, he was always like that. He was just like, you want to do that? You can do that.
Yeah.
And I remember this, like, and my mum was the complete opposite. She was the bad cop. He was the good cop.
Yeah, wow.
And so I remember, like, out of, when I was in year 12, I was like, I want to do a year overseas. It was always this thing to travel. I just wanted to get out, like, but just see the world, connect with people, like, and I just said, I want to do a year 13 overseas. I want to just do student exchange.
Yeah.
It's like, you should do it. I think he knew my mum was going to say no. Because like, we went into the city, we went to the meeting and everything, and I was so excited.
He got all the pamphlets.
Yes, I got all the pamphlets.
It's like, by the way, don't tell mum.
And then my mum's like, you're not going anywhere.
Give me those pamphlets. You're going to uni.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. Okay, this is so cool.
Maria, I want to ask you about being a mum, because you've got 2 little kids and you had 2 kids under 2. Is that right?
No, Andre just turned 3. So they're 3 days apart.
Wow.
Yeah,
so, well, 2 kids under 3. My maths is not my strong point, obviously. But two little kids and running a big business with a big team is huge, and it's a huge responsibility and so many hats that we juggle as women in general. Tell me about how that's been for you in terms of challenging times, things that work really well for your family and things that are really hard.
I've got really good support. I learned really quickly to lean on my village, because my at the time my husband left his job, Andre was born, and then I lost a senior like within a couple of weeks of Andre being born. So I had to go back to work 5 weeks later.
Wow.
And so it was a very like It was stressful. It was very blurry for me. Like, you know, when you look back on stuff and you're just like, I don't know how I got through that. And that's not very helpful, but like, it's just one foot in front of the other, you know, like I was breastfeeding at the time. So like, yeah. And you just do the thing, you know, like you just, my mum was looking after. So just for context, S81 Hair was in a shopping centre. So we're trading 7 days.
Oui.
So that senior was the filler. She was doing Sundays, she was doing Wednesdays and Mondays. She was doing the days that weren't that busy, but we needed people on the floor. But it was completely different with Clara. You know, I had Clara, had 8 months off, did the odd wedding here and there. And I can tell you now, when I stepped away from my business, it soared. Like I just let my team do what they needed to do. The systems were in place. I had good people in there. And it just took off. And I think that there's moments like that in team and culture where they either step up or step out. And they just, and they did. And it was incredible to see. And at that point, I was like, okay, I can do this. Oh, good.
Was there any part of you when you were going to have Clara where you were like, I hope this doesn't happen again?
I think I had a bigger team. Yeah, I think I had a bigger team. I had way more structure, and also flexibility. Like we weren't working. I was at Kin, right? So like we were only trading 5 days. I think at the time, like it was like a Tuesday to Saturday. So in terms of like swapping the team around, and in that first couple of years, I went from like 5 to 15 employees.
Wow,
it was huge growth. Yeah,
wow.
And I think what allowed me to do that is the people around. Like I had support. My mum was helping me. John, my husband, was helping me at the time. So I think, if there's anything I can say to people, don't just ask for help. It's just so important.
If you had your time again, do you think you would do with that whole situation, and especially with being away from your baby sooner than what you wanted?
It's hard to say because I don't think I would be here like this and have this story to tell, which is not why that happened. I think it was that little bit of adversity that really like pushed me further. And maybe that's like a bit selfish to say, but I also think it gives me the lesson to also share with my children, you know, like my kids, is that little bit of struggle is okay, you know, and I can always have that conversation. I'm always having that conversation with Andre now, and now that he's a little bit older, he understands, you know, like, so I think I'm always drilling into, and this is what leadership has taught me. It's taught me how to be a better mother, and vice versa, you know, whether it's like the emotional part or whether it's just like building resilience. There's so many parallels, and I'm sure you guys know, in motherhood and leadership.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And I think this is something, even with that, like a little bit of adversity is good. Like I think lean into the challenge. It's something that we like really, like on the other side of the challenge comes the growth. So having that moment and that, but it can, I think like two things can be true at once. You can have that thing of like, had that not have happened, I wouldn't have made the changes. I wouldn't have the business. I wouldn't have, and yes.
Yeah.
But there is also that other part of like, that can also be shit that I didn't get to be with my little when I really wanted to.
Totally.
Yeah. Which I feel like we can often have that thing of, and I guess that's probably become your fuel, that struggle, that challenge, that leaning into that, it became your fuel of like, cool, well, we're going to change things and we're going to move and we're going to do all of these things.
Well, I think having Clara and having that different experience was quite healing.
Yeah.
You know, like it was like a little bit of redemption or something, you know, like, and I learned, I was just like, I can do this differently, you know? Yes, sure, my business was set up differently, but it was also this idea of like, I don't need to go through that and be the martyr either, you know, like I can just let people do what they need to do. I can structure my and could I have done that with Andre? Sure. Like maybe I just like, you know, if we want to go really deep, I think there was this level of me being really scared to raise a child that I was like, going to work is so much easier.
That's interesting. Like that almost becomes safe.
100%.
Wow.
And, you know, like I think it's so hard. Being a mother is so hard. Like And I used to joke with my clients, coming to work is so much easier than staying home being a mom. Like, it was a bit of a joke, but I think there was so much truth in that for me.
Yeah.
Like, even though, like I said before, I'm quite intuitive, I don't think being a mum was super instinctive for me. Like, I don't think I don't think I loved it that much.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there was not much return on investment.
Yeah.
Being a mum, like, it was really hard.
Yes.
Especially, the breastfeeding thing is just taking so much from you when I had just had a career that gave me so much.
Yeah.
It fueled me. And I know motherhood is not like that, but it felt so different for me.
Yeah.
Is it different now? 100%.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Like, with my children now, like, and, if we want to talk about return on investment, like, it's like this thing, like, that you go, I need to do this really well because I'm not that you're responsible for the people that they become, but like, you really want them to show up in the world for them to have just a really great life.
It's true though, because I mean, there is a level of responsibility. You think about like when people like, fuck up, or they're like, there's a murderer or something like that, and they're like, oh, what's the mother? Like, let's get the mum, let's get the dad. You know what I mean? Like it's you don't want it to go to that extreme, but there is that level of, I see you in that responsibility of like, shit, like this person, I just want them to be kind, or I just want them to be good, or I just want them to be.
You want them to feel all the feelings,
yeah,
and you want them to be fulfilled too. Like, you want them to have a full life. And I think that's what, for my kids, like, people say, I just want them to be happy. It's just like, actually, I want them to be sad too, because they don't know happiness if they don't know sadness.
Exactly.
So like, I try and, you guys know, like, feelings
sides.
is a feeling, so you teach them all the things, and I think, for me back then, it was hard to communicate that to my kids, right? Because they're so little. But now I have a way better, like, chat with them. My daughter is hilarious. Like, I just want to be her when I grow up. And I think, they like chalk and cheese for good reason. Like,
I so appreciate you bringing that in, especially with that thing of like, I feel like there is so much pressure, and, Nic and I talk about this a lot with the fact that, there's such an expectation about like being pregnant, being a mum, being all of these things, that it's going to, you're going to love being pregnant, you're going to love, and don't you ever like say otherwise. I see you so much in that, like, especially in the early days, I was like, who the fuck am I? Like, I'm not working on clients anymore. That loss of identity, and also that thing of, I totally get what you're saying with like, I'm not getting a lot back from this. Like, it's really like they're asleep, they're crying, or they need a nappy change, like, or they're shitting. Like, it's not. They're not saying I love you, or they're not kissing you, or they're not engaged with you.
Yeah.
And especially those, it can be really lonely.
Especially when you've just gone through this whole, like, you do really, I know this is a really bad comparison, but you do really good hair, and so it's like, oh my God, that's so, 100%. Thank you so much.
Constant validation of like, I'm doing good, I'm doing good. And then I look at baby and I'm like, hello? Hello?
Really Someone tell me I'm doing great.
Someone clap. It really is. I think you just spoke to so many women listening. Because there are so many women that feel that guilt of, especially being in the hair industry, that feeling of just, I'm surrounded by this incredible vibe and culture, and then they're pulled out of the salon and they're at home, and something just doesn't feel quite right. And it doesn't mean that it's not, as you say, you've had two completely different seasons of motherhood, and I think it's really interesting, the polarity. And I believe that what happens in round one, you use and you utilize, and you become different as a mum in a different season because of those things. And as Tess said, that becomes your fuel. You said something before recording that I noted down. I just thought this was so fucking incredible, and I saw so much of my own experience in motherhood in this. You said that motherhood has made you less rattled at work, and that 2-year-olds prepare you for adult conflict in ways nothing else could.
Yeah. And
I just thought that was so true, excuse me, of leadership in general, but just that as a mum, it almost regulates you around different levels of leadership, and the things that made you sweat before motherhood versus the things that make you sweat now are really different. Maria, I would love to share something that you shared with us before recording, with your permission. It was just something that was so incredible to encapsulate leadership, and I also think this will be really powerful for team members listening to this conversation as well. You said there was a situation that I had been avoiding that finally erupted. I'd been managing around it for too long, letting things slide, not rocking the boat, abandoning myself in the moments that, I'm going to cry again, that I should have stood my ground. I was scared of how I'd look. So I stayed quiet, and every time I stayed quiet, I taught the people around me how I was prepared to be treated. You said that day taught me what I now bang on about. The conversation that you don't have on day 1 is the conversation that you can't have on day 300. I got through it the way that I get through most of them now, but going back to the framework by getting curious about my own part in it, and by finally saying what I should have said much earlier. What comes up for you hearing that?
Look, I've been a big people pleaser for a really long time, and I was definitely escaping the hard conversation all the time. And I think it's really common in like leadership. It's just like, I don't want to hurt their feelings. Yeah, I've been doing this a long time in terms of like the self-abandonment. And I think motherhood almost like emphasizes it as well, when you lose yourself in it all, and it's just like this constant sacrifice. But look, when someone said to me a long time ago, like, teach people how to treat you, and it really landed for me, because I just thought I just need to say what I need from people. I think that was the hard thing for me, like I didn't want to need anything from people. I was like, independent woman, like I didn't want to like have to ask people for help or do anything, or want them to do anything for me. But I had to really get clear on how I wanted to lead my team. Otherwise I was just going to be a doormat. And I didn't want to be like that anymore. I didn't want to and it wasn't about like saying no to people all the time. It was just about getting really clear on what I wanted from my team, and in my leadership and in my life. It really overflowed for me.
Wow.
Because from that point onwards, so much shifted for me. I think I think we can lie to ourselves a lot about certain things, and I think this is what led me to open up that second salon. This friend approached me, and I was just like, yeah, let's do it. And then that day 300 came, and I was just like, holy moly, this is really hard, and I was just like, I shouldn't have just agreed just because, she asked me, and that's what I did.
Play that back. Anyone that is resonating with that, play that back. I shouldn't have done that just because she asked me.
Yeah.
Day 300. Fuck, yes.
Incredible.
Wow.
Maria, I want to pivot a little bit. So I am a slut for AI.
Great to hear.
It would be wrong of me not to bring this up, because I think that you are just on the brink of being a huge disruptor in our industry in terms of bringing AI into the hands of salon owners and making it more accessible and making it easier for people to understand who may not naturally be tech focused and tech minded. And I really want to sing this from the rooftop, because I think there's so many salon owners listening right now who need your magic. And you have been creating amazing resources. I actually downloaded one.
Oh, did you?
I was curious to see what you've been working on, and it's incredible. Can we talk a little bit about AI and what you're bringing to the industry?
Oh, look, I just got so obsessed. I love it so much. It gave me so much efficiency. It gave me so much time back. And I'd been putting off so many things. And when I was able to tick those things off my to-do list, I was like, oh my God, this is like, that running to-do list was epic. Like, it was just, I had things on there that had been on there for such a long time. And I was just able to knock them off just like that, just by setting up a certain way and not just using like ChatGPT for as a Google search engine. You know, like I really wanted for it to work for me. And I got together with a friend who was also playing with it. She's not in hairdressing, not in the industry, but like she was just like, why don't you try this? Why don't you try that? And I was like, oh my God, people need to know.
It's so cool.
And I just love it so much now. It helps me really it also brings my leadership team together. I was able to build, you know, I know you guys use Trello. I use Notion, very similar. And it was able to build me out like my full Notion space, just like even things like an onboarding process. I built a mystery shopper program. Like
so cool.
And everything was in the one space. And so my leadership team, like they go to that, you know, and they just go like, this is what you know, if you got to find something, just go to the Notion space, you know?
Yes.
And there's a running whip for us as well. And it gave me so much structure, you know, like it systemized everything. And for someone who can sometimes wing it and have things in different, you know, piles and go, oh, she'll be right. My God, like the streamlining for your business is insane.
Well, I think even just the like capacity that it opens up for like the freedom then of being like all of these things that I've been like putting off for so long, or like, you know, it's that never ending thing. Oh yeah, I'll get to it.
Capacity.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's such I'm so grateful that you're like leaning into this and also sharing on this.
Yeah. Look, I want to do more, definitely. Like I had this like
you need to start like a school.
Yeah. My friend says this all the time.
I'm serious. I'm like I'm not laughing.
We can do this, we can do that. And I'm like, okay.
You should.
You know, and I've got a couple of things in the works I really want to you know, and it's just time, you know, like, you know.
I'm hearing you've got a bit more of it, so we heard it here first.
Now it's
heard it here first.
Exactly. That'll be
now I've brought it all back.
Week.
Yeah, for sure.
Can you tell us what's next for you and what's coming up?
The school.
The
academy. Outside of that.
AI
in the
Academy.
works.
Yeah, look, I'm bringing out, actually, I'm working on an apprentice handbook.
So good.
Yeah. So it's got like little cheat sheets and stuff, like basic foundational information, but
so
also
good.
like it's got progress grids. So it's a bit like a book that will give you you really like a lot of clarity in the progress of your apprentice.
This is so needed, because I feel like so many apprentices are always that thing of like, I don't know how all this is going to come together and how I like where I should be, how it's going, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
So actually them having this and being able to like track themselves.
Yeah, well, it was sort of born
So
out of
cool.
like me not being at the salon as much. And I would always come into the space and just go, what are you up to? Like, what are you doing? What have you been signed off on? And sure, like, so I would blindly just like, you know, sign the TAFE papers. I'm like, yep, you're confident, whatever, I was like, I'm not sure if I should say that.
That's fine.
But, you know, it's because I have a really strong education program,
of
like
course.
internal.
Yeah,
in
you've got the
salon.
TAFE teacher.
Yeah,
surely.
exactly.
Definitely. Yours are good. We know that for certainty.
But it's just like this thing of like, you know, I need to know how many you've done.
Yeah.
And so there's all these progress grids to go, okay, cool. How many regrowths have they done? How many half heads have they done? Have they, you know, can they, you know, do a signature kin blow dry? Like, things like that. So I'm like, okay, how many have you done? Yep, cool. I can see that you've done 4. Let's do the 5th one just on a dolly head, and I can just see where you're up to. And if they do, it's normally about 10. If they do 5 and they nailed it, it's like, yeah, sign you off. And then we have a big progress grid out the back to see where the apprentices actually live. And so that way my leadership team, so Briley's actually not a hairdresser. She's just been in the space for a long time. So she could actually just go, okay, what are you up to? You can put a regrowth on. Yep, let me book that in for you.
Wow.
So
That
it's very,
cool.
this
needs to be
it's
in
just very
salons now.
transparent.
Yeah.
and super clear.
We need it. We're pre-ordering.
So I was just like, we're still working on it. It's with the editor at the moment. Yeah. So I've done everything. We're just with the editor and we're just designing.
That's so exciting.
Yeah, it's so exciting.
Okay, well, can we pre-order our first. I want to be one of the first
That's
ones.
incredible.
That is so
Yeah.
cool.
Maria, where can our listeners find you?
Yes.
So I'm mainly on Instagram. I haven't done the TikTok thing, but maybe I need to get on that. Just Maria_Unali. And I'm also
How do you spell
building
Unali? Because there will be so many people that will take that differently.
Unali.
Unali.
Yeah, I know you said it very well. Unali.
I came in,
Oh,
I didn't
I
say
know.
it in that sexy voice. I was like, is it an alley?
Yeah, Unali.
But it
Yeah.
has been such an unbelievable privilege to have you in the
So
studio
cool.
today.
Thank you
Thank
so much,
you.
both
To
of
have you share your story. You are just someone who's been so inspiring for so many people in our
thank
industry, and we're so grateful for your time today. So
Thank you so much for having me. It's
Maria.
been so fun.
Thank
What
you.
a absolute gift. Thank you for being here. Can't wait for the AI Academy, the apprentice
I
school.
know you guys are making me very busy now.
That'll be
I love
rolling
it.
out
I love
before
this for me.
September 1st.
Oh, there's a deadline too.
Exactly. Thank you guys so much for listening to another episode of the Conscious Salon Potty.
Love you guys. Stay conscious.